Hey, welcome to Side New with JW. This is Side New 129, Life After Death. So, a few days ago, we had the anniversary, the 20th anniversary of one of the deaths of an individual that shocked the world and really rocked the United Kingdom when Princess Diana died. And she was loved, she was beloved, she was known as the people's princess, and for many great reasons. And now 20 years later, we watch all these different specials on TV and the internet and all these things, and we look back overall of her life and the things that she was able to accomplish, the things that she was able to do, and in comparison to others, people will compare her to Mother Teresa, to Nelson Mandela, to some of the great individuals that will always live on even after they have died. And I think back to when it happened. I was 12 years old, and I'm actually 10 days older than Prince Harry. And I couldn't even imagine to start to think what he was going through as a young boy. I remember watching on TV, but not feeling the same connection that individuals that were in the United Kingdom felt, and obviously not him. He had just lost his mother, which is horrible in its own. But I think of the life that she lived, and when we watch these specials and we watch these things, really seeing what she was able to do and how she changed the game in so many different ways when it came to so many things that people didn't talk about back then, and how she was able to be just a human. So many people relate to her because they see that she was just a human. She was a normal individual that was doing extraordinary things. And I think about what we all should be wanting to accomplish in our life, and that those are the same things. And I watched the special tonight. Me and my wife watched it, and one of the things that the Prince Harry said was they just and along with Prince William, they just want to make their mother proud by being that type of individual, being an individual that makes such a phenomenal impact on the world and is remembered past their death. And I think when we look at life after death, I don't think that there's, you're not being reborn or anything like that. You're not going to, come back as another individual. But I think about what you can leave, the legacy that you can leave, the impact that you can have on the world, where your memory lives on forever. The things that you did lives on forever. I think, you look at some of the stuff that she was able to do. We didn't do then. No one did then. Nobody talked about the things that she did back then. From the standpoint of where she was at, the platform that she had, and she was able to change people and change people's opinions on things. One of the very impactful spots was when she was going through the hospital and with the AIDS patients, and she was shaking their hands with no gloves. And I mean, we live in 2017 now, and who cares? Like, that's not an issue because we know that it's not an issue. But back then, it was an issue. And back then, they didn't know about what could possibly come from that, what could happen. And, you see that, and she was able to have such an impact. The other thing, she walked through the landmines, where there were landmines, where individuals, were trying to clear these mines, and you just watch. And this is somebody that, although she might not have been the princess at the time, her kids were eventually going to be possibly, for sure, one was going to be the king of England eventually. And this is the mother out there doing this, and from a platform that she had, it was just something completely different, where she'll live on forever. We're talking about it now because it's an anniversary, the 20th anniversary of her death, but she will be remembered in ways that normal individuals will never be remembered. I would hope that someday I could do anything compared to leave such a legacy behind. And I don't think that we as a society overall are all trying to go for something like that, all trying to leave a legacy, doing such great things because not because we're trying to get to that, but just because we do. Because we want to be a good individual, and we want to go ahead and spread the word of love and peace, and show that by doing such simple things and small things, that you can leave such a lasting impact on the world as a whole. And I think that we see that now. In 2017, we see it where everyday individuals are coming together for the relief of the hurricane that hit Texas, and people are putting aside whatever their issues are, where we have these divides within America in 2017, and they are helping because they want to. And those are the things that we should be looking for. Those are the things that we should be doing. So when we do pass on someday, and we look back, or others look back at our life, they can be like, you know what, that individual made an impact. That individual left something behind, just like Princess Diana did, like the Mother Teresa, the Nelson Mandelas of this world, where she will always be remembered for the things that she did. And here's the big part: the things that she didn't have to do. She didn't have to do those things. She didn't, specifically, hey, you go ahead, you have to make sure that you knock out all these things. She went above and beyond the call of duty in so many different ways. And I think that is the only way you'll ever have a life after you die, is by the legacy that you leave, by the reputation that you built throughout your life, and that's what you leave on your deathbed, and the kindness that you had, and the kindness that you completely depleted before you pass on, to show the world that, at the end of the day, you are a great individual. You are someone that should be remembered, someone that others should look up to, and someone to try to be like at the end of the day. And she is one that I want to be like. She is an individual that we should all try to, mirror in some ways, to ensure that when we do pass on, we leave something behind that is meant to have an impact overall. I think back, 20 years ago, such a horrible thing happened, and I look to the 50th anniversary of this, and I bet they're doing specials on it, and the 100th anniversary. She has left such an impact on individuals. That's what we should all be striving for. That is what success looks like when you're looking at it from the larger picture, the larger standpoint overall. So think about that. What are you doing in life? Are you going to be leaving something behind that is, not only for your children, but for everyone else to look back and see and realize, wow, you did something phenomenal, you did something great, and not just for yourself, but for everyone. Everyone. It doesn't matter who. You did something, and you left that image there, and you left that reputation, and you left that legacy for everyone overall. So until tomorrow's video, I just want you to think about that. It's very saddening to remember back 20 years ago that something such, a needless tragedy happened. But wow, I am in awe when I think about it overall. So until tomorrow's video, appreciate you watching Decide and Do 129. Like, share, feedback's always welcome.